How is everyone doing today? Great to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. I don't even realize what day it is anymore. But luckily, we have a special guest today on my channel, and he goes by the name of Craig from 2DogsDigs. How are you doing today, Craig?
Good. How are you, Chris? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day.
Can't complain. Can't complain. And of course, my YouTube goes off.
I just heard that
too. I'm such a noob.
At least I'm not the only one who's doing that. Like...
So, before we get started here, I guess if you can just do a quick introduction of yourself, Craig, and your channel.
You bet. So I'm Craig, also known as Bad Dog Dawson, from 2DogsDigs. That's the number 2DogsDigs, and I run a reselling store. We've been doing reselling. Actually, my husband and I have been doing it for about 30 years or so. Before the internet and the interweb and eBay and everything like that, actually, we used to. Well, he was dragged into it. I basically dragged the spouse along for things. And he used to have to, I made him work toy shows with me because when I first started out reselling, I was a collector in, hey, Landshark. I was a collector in the sort of toy. I focused on 1960s and 70s toys. So G.I. Joe, I was a huge vintage Barbie doll dealer.
Really?
Yeah, big time. I actually was the opening speaker at the San Diego convention. I've toured Mattel inside. I have prototypes from inside. Like I did back
no
in the
way.
80s. Yeah, I did a lot of stuff like that. I used to have probably 3,000 to 4,000 Barbie dolls. We used to hold a live show twice a year called the Vinyl Princess for just people selling Barbies. And I collected the G.I. Joes, not the G.I. Joes that a lot of the younger folks remember, which are these. I collected the original 1960s G.I. Joes, like I
see.
had as a kid in 1967.
Yeah.
What I did was, as a collector, I bought stuff, and then I kept trying to improve my collection. Well, as I improved my collection, I didn't get rid of the stuff that was in a lesser shape. And that's when my partner husband said, when are you going to get rid of all the boxes of stuff you don't have on display? So we ended up taking at like booths at toy shows. There was a publication out way back in the 80s and 90s called Toy Shop. It was a monthly magazine that literally was just people listing stuff for sale, collectibles for sale, because there wasn't an internet for people to buy from. Mm-hmm. So we used to advertise auctions in there, and this is how old I am. We used to have to take the photos with a camera, get those photos developed at Black's Cameras.
Oh no!
Send the photos in to Texas with a layout. A month later, they would send us a proof back, and 2 months after that, it would come out in an auction. So you'd be planning an auction that would go live with people phoning you up 5 to 6 months before it actually could happen.
Oh my gosh.
You'd have to do all of that compared to stuff now where you just put something on eBay and it can sell.
Literally seconds. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We got the name 2DogsDigs because when I first placed my ads in the paper, it's a story I've told a few times, I went to book an ad and there was somebody with my exact name who was ripping people off from somewhere in the States. Again, this is back in the 80s. So I said, I need to place an ad. And they said, okay, what's your name? I said, Craig Dawson. They said, oh, we have to talk to you. I went, what? I've never talked to you before. They said, no, you've got a lot of problems. You're in Richmond, Virginia. I said, no, I'm in Toronto, Canada. They said, oh, well, there's a Craig Dawson who actually has been having problems with people. So you probably shouldn't advertise your stuff as Craig Dawson because they might think it's him.
Yeah.
So you should come up with a name. And I went, a name? And they said, yes, like you got to place your ad. What do you want your ad, your name of your ads to be, your company? We had a little dog. Her name was Tate, named after Jodie Foster's movie Little Man Tate, Little Dog Tate, and McMahon and Tate, because I am in advertising, and that was the ad agency that Darren Stevens on Bewitched worked for. So that was where we got Tate. Tate peed on the carpet while I was on the phone. I turned to Tate and said, bad dog. And the person on the phone went, bad dog? I went, what? And they said, you want to be called Bad Dog? Okay. So I became Bad Dog. Then, as we went to the conventions and things like that, Rick became known as Good Dog. And he was working for the Ontario government full time until literally last summer.
Okay.
But so he was helping on the part-time basis, and we've been trying to ramp this up. We've been on eBay US, ebay.com for 24 years, basically since it started, and eBay Canada for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And then we tried to come up with a moniker for the two of us together now. So it was including him and I. So that's where the 2DogsDigs came up for, because we dig around for stuff in garage sales and flea markets and estate sales and thrift stores. So we're digging up the stuff to sell you guys. So we're two dogs who dig. Long story, not short, but that's it.
No, but you know what? That's super interesting how that whole thing just came together.
Yeah.
So obviously it was unfortunate that there was a guy with that name that gave you a bad rap, but it worked out, I guess.
Yeah, because and at that time you actually had to send money orders or cash in the mail.
That's true, yeah.
Right, so you would actually, and even on eBay originally, you would actually be listing stuff, and you'd wait for little money orders to come up to you that were from like I remember one of the places that I'd never heard of, but it was a food grocery store in the States called the Piggly Wiggly. And we used to get these money orders from the Piggly Wiggly. And then you deposit the money order, and then you send the items off. So
that's amazing. So before we move forward, I just wanted to say hello to everyone in the chat. We have 17 people here right now, so thank you guys so much for being here.
This way.
So we will say hi to some of the lovely people that are here right now. We have Cajun Reseller. How is it going? The first one. He's always the first one. He's always the man. So we have Val from Val Milk. How's it going? As you can see, Luigi is now there. Before he wasn't, but I know you always notice his stuff. So thank you, Val. We have Dapper Tiger. Sam, how's it going? Good to see you. We have Jamie from the UK. Good to see you. We have Kat, the nurse flipper. Always good to see you, Kat. And we have another Craig in the building here. We got Craig Landshark Picker. Good to see you. And we have Marie. Good to see you as well. And we have Wendy, Fat Girl Sewing. Good to see you. We have Tracy. Always good to see you. And we have Simply Dana. Great to see you. And we have my man Tim over here, the bro. Good to see you. And Jay Flips. How's it going? Good to see you. Hi, Chris and Craig. Hope East Canada is nicer than West Canada. So we have another fellow Canadian over here. Good to see you. And then we have the man with the rap, Mr. Burgundy Sells, Mr. Ron Burgundy. Good to see you. He's got a good video that he just posted. I think it was a couple days ago. He just rap freestyled his what's sold. So check that out, guys.
I'm subscribing right now to Burgundy. And I just subbed to Landshark Picker, and I'm gonna try and make sure I sub to a
that thing is gonna go huge. I can tell you that. We got Mr. Art Vandalay. Good to see you. And we have Sunny from Las Vegas Thrifts, and Matt from Phoenix Flippers. What is up, guys? Good to see you. Thank you guys so much for being here. So, really, we wanted to just make sure that, we wanted to discuss a whole bunch of things, just with what's going on with ways we can really try to see how we can handle whether it's reselling, sourcing, and shipping here. And so, I guess what we'll start off first is with the shipping, with the reselling. So, first off, how has reselling been for you so far during this time?
It's been surprisingly good. We actually had a very strong March. I think we actually may have even beaten our December, which, we've been selling weird things. Like that's the whole thing about right now is today, a perfect example, in the past 3 hours, we have sold a 3888. We sold a hairy, scary monkey mask, like a Halloween mask, with a beard and full of hair. It's a scary, hairy monkey mask. We sold some vintage Tupperware kind of thing called Maloware, which is a hard plastic sort of retro mid-century modern cups and saucers for $17. And also sold, I think we sold a jigsaw puzzle as well that we haven't even checked to see if it's complete for $50. So we actually, just like you, we did a video. If you subscribe to 2DogsDigs, you'll see it. We did a video for last week, which was how we took like $40 worth of stuff and 15 items, I think, that we flipped for over $600. So we had like $1,000 week last week almost.
Oh, wow. That's
so
amazing.
It's the good thing for us, though, is because I don't know what the term is. I got to come up with one. I guess if it's a combination of sorcerers and hoarders. So we're sorters. Because sorters?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorters.
These happen to be people who didn't list a lot of stuff.
Or horsers.
Yeah. Horsers. Notorious for shopping and then not listing. So we've had we're really lucky. We have a really big sort of profit pile sitting around. So we're able to keep listing more and more and more. And one of the things I found is the more that you list, the more you actually have the ability to sell. So
absolutely.
And we're cross-platforming as well as much as we can. So we have about 1,000 items on eBay right now. We list, even though we're in Canada, we list on .com. We have about 100 on Etsy. We have about 500 on Amazon. We have we got probably 10 or 15 things that we're trying to sell on Facebook right now. And then we got a little occasionals where we go out into different Facebook groups.
Yes.
And post things in just those groups. Like I found a Haunted Mansion Clue game that I had, and I went into the Haunted Mansion Facebook fans group.
Oh, wow.
To post it in there.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So yeah, Nurse Flipper said sorters. I don't know. It's just for those of us who happen to have profit piles.
Hey, that works though. That's a great idea though. Like going to like specific themed groups that would probably be selling that stuff. So that's a great idea.
Some of it is there to help you even define what it is that you've got. Like I have some stuff I'm going to be trying to find a group later on today.
Yeah.
I had all these metal figures that I know they're not Dungeons and Dragons, but for the life of me, I can't figure out what they are. So there's a vintage toy identification group.
Yeah.
And people just post pictures of stuff in that.
Yeah.
And there's so many members that like answer all the questions for you. And then you can take that answer and either go and list it on a specific group. Like, oh, that's like, I've seen people where they've drawn like an X with and thrown little plastic toys down going, which weapons do these belong to? And within seconds, you've got people going, that is the armor sword from Thrift Beast in episode 17. It was issued in 1960. That's the G.I. Joe machine gun for this figure. That's Deadpool. It's like, and you're looking at people go, oh my God, you people have so much knowledge.
Yeah.
And then you can go to those individual sites and go, oh, now I know I've got a Star Wars lightsaber from a 1977 figure. I can go to that Star Wars page and try and sell it. So any way you can make money now is really what you have to look at. You have to think about cross-platforming. You have to think about, well, one of the other things we're doing a lot of is sending offers out on eBay.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I've been getting a lot of those lately, and I've been probably pretty successful, I think 70% of the time by doing that. And it's been working well for me if I wasn't doing that.
Yeah. And every day you get new offers. And I cleared it off last night at midnight. And today I have, I think 17 more offers I can send out.
Wow. So
the fact that you can actually I have 8 offers that I can send to buyers right now. And at midnight it was 0. So, and they're always new things too. So I'm looking on my phone going, oh, somebody decided out of the blue that they wanted to look at this book, A Book of Wizards for $24.88. And it's like, well, nobody looked at that before. Everything I'm looking at right now on here is stuff that I either just listed, and some of it I'm listing a little higher. So that if somebody watches it immediately on eBay, that I get to throw an offer out to them in less than 24 hours, drop my price by $10, which is all I wanted in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you might be able to sell something. So I just did a video on that actually on Monday and posted on our Canadian Facebook group, which I know you're a member of, which is the Canadian Resellers and Fantastic Thrifters group on Facebook. It's also known as Craft.
Yeah.
It's not only for Canadians. About 70% of the people that we have there are Canadians, but we're the largest reseller group on Facebook for Canadians. There's nobody else with that many people on it. So
that's awesome.
And it helps everyone with all the different ways to handle like Canadian issues with shipping and Canadian issues with sourcing and just any kind of questions. We got people on there who only do FBA with Canada. I don't. So I can ask questions to an FBA person about Canada, but we also have like 20% of the people are US people mostly who also have really great input to things for listings and things like that.
Yeah, I've been doing more like specific for Amazon. I've been doing mainly in Canada. I don't do the US specifically.
Do you do FBA though? Or do you do merchant fulfilled? Like
I just started doing merchant fulfilled now, but the main thing I was doing was FBA.
Okay. See, I haven't taken that leap. Yeah. Everything we're doing is like a list of CDs because it's so easy for us to list them.
Exactly, it is.
And then just throwing them into the mail. But I know that there's stuff that I have that would be probably sell faster if I FBA'd it. So that's kind of my learning curve for, I'm calling that my May learning curve because I don't know whether I'm going to get to it in April. And I think we'll still be shut down in May. So
it's looking that way. It's looking that way. First off, there's a couple more people that just came into the chat here. I see Georgina came. Good to see you, Georgina. Always good to have you in the chat. And then we have
here's Lynn.
We have Lynn as well. And
that's her name. Here's Lynn.
Here's Lynn, of course. And we have Lance as well. Good to see you guys. Thank you for stopping by. So I guess one thing I noticed too, you do as well, like you do ebay.com and ebay.ca, right?
Yes.
So I think that's one of the questions I get asked the most. Like, why do you do both? Like, what gave you the decision to wanting to do .com and .ca?
Well, part of it from our standpoint is, again, because we've actually been on it so long, we were on .com before Canada even launched. So
I see.
.com launched 4 years before .ca launched.
Yeah.
But the reason we kept onto it and actually have a second account that we also do .com on, and we recommend to a lot of people that they use .com, is because we're selling in US dollars.
Yeah.
So we see our audience, and about 90% of our sales are to the US.
Yeah, me too.
When you look on eBay and you're trying to get comparative ideas on how much something should sell for, you're trying to figure out your sales price. It's just that extra little bit of math you have to do if you're listing on .ca to go, oh, look, these are all selling for 45 US, 55 US, 64 US, 35 US. I've got to make mine how much in Canadian? Right. So that's for us. It's an easy way for you to have something that's comparable. The other thing we also do, because we happen to be lucky enough to live in a market where there is cross-border shipping.
Yes.
We actually list our location in New York.
Right. So me too.
In the US. Yeah. And that's actually a directive from eBay. That's not something I picked up out of the blue. That's something that eBay told us directly to do. Because eBay uses that shipping location to calculate the length of time that it's going to take for someone to get something in a normal world. So if you put Canada, it's going to add extra days as well.
Yes.
Because it's thinking it has to go from Canada over the border, then into the USPS, and then over there. Yes. So listing on .com and putting in a US address shortens the amount of time that it could be for someone to get it, which again could be that barrier as to why someone may order from you versus ordering from somebody else, because they may be looking at going, that's going to take 4 days, that's going to take 14.
Yes.
So, and now with the US dollar against the Canadian dollar, it's like we probably made an extra couple of $100 in the past month just because of the exchange rate.
Yeah.
So no harm there either.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to ramp up my .com more, and like just to what you said too, like when we're trying to figure out shipping as well to the US, like we have to figure out like I don't know how you do it, but I do a flat rate to the US when I list on .ca.
Yep.
And so that's one thing to figure out too when obviously when you're not too familiar with what you think it's going to cost, like that's something to keep into account. But that was just something I was wondering how you do it.
No, we also recommend on the Canadian Reseller Group as well. We recommend that people use flat shipping because it may be scary when you're first doing your first couple.
Yeah.
But once you've done a few, you start getting to know that the flat rate for every CD is going to be X or Y, or the flat, and you can start. It just becomes easier than packing things up, because what we found is people who want to use calculated shipping, sometimes they don't realize they actually have to basically pack it up.
Yeah, exactly. They don't account the box weight.
They don't think about that, right?
Yeah.
And they'll take something like this poster and go, I'm going to mail this poster, and they'll put that on the weigh scale, and they'll forget that this poster also has to go, or this poster, it's in here, has to go in this poster tube.
Yes,
that poster tube is going to take it from being like 14 ounces to 1.5 pounds. Like,
yeah, it's way heavier than the actual.
It's way heavier. So again, it's those little things that once you start doing it, and then what we've done for ourselves is on one of the cross-border shippers that we use, we actually have set up 3 addresses so that we can check how much things are going to cost. One of them is, because we're in Toronto, so it's as far away as we can. So one is California, one of them is Australia, and one of them is Vancouver. So anytime we have an item that's a little bizarre in shape or heavy or bigger, I just pop into the cross-border shipper and I change the size and weight, and I can pull up a flat rate on all of those that I can pop into my listings.
That's great. That's a great idea.
But we've stopped all international shipping right now, other than the US. We're not doing anything outside of the US and Canada.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, luckily sales are still coming in, so I can't complain.
Yeah, we've had some people on the Canadian Reseller Group who've somebody even posted today that they sent something and it's taken like a month and it's still sort of in transit. We ourselves, the last thing we sent was something to Malta on March the 1st. It's gone missing.
Oh, wow.
So we have to refund the money on the item,
yeah,
which is fine. But because really, sometimes people think this is a controversial statement, but as I say, all I'm losing is what I paid for the item and potentially shipping. Yeah. I'm not losing what I sold the item for, because I never had that in the first place. Some people get mad when I say that, because they go, but I sold it for $50. I said, but you paid a quarter. If you're refunding the $50 to the person, you didn't lose $50.
Yeah.
You lost the opportunity to make $50, maybe. Yeah. But you only lost a quarter, and maybe you lost the $7 for shipping or something like that. So that takes the sting out of it as well. If you have to do a refund for something, think about what your investment is, not what you sold it for.
Yeah, exactly. Now, are there specific things that you find sell like better on the .ca platform as opposed to .com?
No, our .ca stuff has a tendency to be, if we do sell any, because about 5 to 10% of our stuff, even when we advertise on .com, we're selling to people in Canada.
Yeah.
Because we're sort of an eclectic mix of anything we find anywhere. It's not like we have like 700 video games to sell.
Yeah.
I know that on Amazon, it's all about CDs and DVDs for us. We have other stuff that's listed that's to be fulfilled by us, but it's very rare that something like that sells. We sell like one of those like Hallmark ornaments or whatever every 6 months.
Yeah.
Versus a CD a week. And there's somebody actually I know who's on our, again, in our Canadian resellers group, and they have now got 3,600 CDs listed on Amazon, and they're selling 5 to 10 a day.
Wow. That's crazy.
So they had bought a bunch of them sourced them from some people who were doing storage lockers who didn't want anything to do with the CDs.
Yeah.
So they buy them all like for pennies and are listing them. And they're not necessarily making huge money on all of them, but it's like if they're making $2, $3, $4 and all they have to do is slide it into an envelope and it takes no time to list it, that's an extra $50 a day.
That's true.
And thank Dapper Tiger for throwing our channel up out on there. I never know what I'm pointing up there.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet to Craig and Rick's channel, 2DogsDigs, go ahead and click on that link. And
everything's backwards when you're looking at these things. It's
I know. I still get confused.
Point at something and it's like, and there's Tammy Faye. Oh, I got it right this time. But normally I'm pointing like everything wrong.
What's that thing on that side?
Which
with the bunny ears?
That?
Yeah.
This is Tony Toenail. That's what we call him. Okay, so this. So I also have a Facebook group that I call the Thrift Hall of Fail.
Really?
So, yes, and what it is basically it's just bad things that you find when you're garage selling and thrifting.
Yeah.
And
that thing is creepy.
so this was bought 2 summers ago at a garage sale. It was sitting on a table, and there was this little 12-year-old, I think she was about a 12-year-old girl. This is his Easter outfit, sorry. 12-year-old girl. And she had this, and I went, oh my God, what's that? She goes, it's something my uncle made. And she was so happy. And I think I paid $1 for it. And the thing that scares me the most is it looks like it has real fingernails.
Oh my gosh. That's weird.
So her uncle made this. It didn't have the diaper on. We put the diaper on.
Okay.
And now he stands there as sort of our mascot. And he's actually a mascot on the Thrift Hall of Fail.
There you go.
If you look that up on Facebook, you'll see that. And
I got to take a look at that.
We are posting. I got to get some more stuff up, but it's just there's so much stuff you see in thrift stores and at garage sales that are just like mistakes. Like either they're vintage and they're just so funny because what was politically correct then is not now.
Oh, not now for sure. Yeah.
No, it's just so much really wild stuff. No, he's not anatomically correct. No, the diaper was actually, we put it on for New Year's. He was our New Year's baby.
Oh my gosh.
And okay, this is I just hold on. I'm not stepping out very far.
Okay.
I happen to have been at another garage sale because I'm a sorter.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorter.
Sourcing hoarder, the sorter. And somebody had a duck, a plastic duck. It's almost that big, like a big plastic duck.
Yeah.
And they had made outfits for the duck.
Oh my gosh, really?
So we are repurposing the outfits. This is the bikini.
There's a bikini for
a hat for the summer.
That's insane.
This is also for the summer. There is there's a Christmas thing in here. There is a angel wings. There is a Thanksgiving outfit. There's a Santa outfit. So he happened to have the bunny ears put on him for Easter, and he'll be dressing up in the bikini probably for next week's show on Tuesday night.
I see. setting up for the summer.
Yeah. Since we can't go to the beach, maybe he can.
Go to the bathtub or something.
I'd be afraid he'd fall apart if I put him in the bathtub. Because it's creepy.
Those hands are creepy.
Yeah.
Tracy's asking, do you have a medical mask for him?
No, I probably could make one though. Maybe I'll try and do that with the bikini.
Guys, if you have any questions as well for Craig, leave it a comment as well, and we'll get to it for sure. But I guess one thing you mentioned that you do like going to garage sales. Was that probably your favorite way of sourcing, or were there other ways of sourcing that you generally do?
Because of where we are in Toronto, like you, we've got the seasonality that we have to deal with. So it's kind of, for us, it was April through September, October, garage sales as much as we could. We do church bazaars. We would go to flea markets. We would go to Aberfoyle, Christie, conservation, like all of those type of things to source.
Yeah.
And then the summer, and throughout that, we kept going to thrift stores. And then throughout the winter, it was you're locked down, so it's thrift stores. And we may visit the occasional antique mall, but mostly thrift stores. So now I'm already going through major withdrawal.
Yeah.
It's not even April or May, but I'm going through major withdrawal because last night I had to take my phone and sit there with my husband going, okay, well, this weekend is out. Beginning of May, we were supposed to go to Brimfield, Massachusetts, which is one of the largest. It's an amazingly large antique and flea market that goes on for 4 days. and it's thousands of vendors and hundreds of thousands of people. If you ever watch a TV show called Flea Market Flip, they film there. We used to go there it's on every May and September. So our May trip, which was a week of sourcing,
got canceled. Oh, it's too bad.
My birthday weekend, beginning of May, we were going to go down to like upstate New York and go to the malls. Can't cross the border. Gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think there's anybody going to have a garage sale in the beginning of May. So So again, thankfully, we're sorters. So we have profit piles we can go through and list.
Yeah, a couple of days before they closed the border, I was supposed to go to Buffalo. And yeah, obviously that didn't turn out well. So
well, even there, we source on places like eBay, but we have a cross-border address that we pick up stuff at.
Yeah.
Just across the border. And so we'll find stuff that might be lots of things that somebody's selling, or that you find something that somebody's selling really cheap, and you order it and have it sent to them because they won't send to Canada, or it'll cost too much to come to Canada.
Exactly, yeah.
And we'll go pick it up. Well, again, we can't get across the border to pick up anything that we have, which right now we don't have anything there, but
yeah, no, luckily what I've been doing right now is there's a company I've been using, you're probably familiar with Stallion Express, but they have that program called Chipsy.
Yeah, they just started it.
Yeah. So I tried using that, and it's been pretty good so far.
The only thing that I don't like about that, there's another company that does it as well, is because you end up paying the duty and taxes. So you can get dinged really badly depending on what comes across. Whereas if you have stuff that's across the border at one of those kind of addresses, and there's lots of places you can get it. So not even just in Toronto, but like there's places across the border across the US and Canada.
Yes.
If you ever want to look one up, all you have to do is look up Kinek. It's Kinek.
Yeah.
And it's a company that has literally, like, they have agreements with a whole bunch of places all right on the border that will be your mail-in place.
Oh, okay.
So you can find that as a cross-border sort of shipping place for you. So, but yeah, then you go across the border, spend the day over there, maybe do some shopping, maybe do some other sourcing, come back across, and usually you don't end up having to pay any duty on something like that.
I see.
Here's Lynn. How are you not subscribed to his channel? I don't know. We've been doing this for 2 years, and Chris has impressed the crap out of me because he's been doing this for a lot less time than us, and he's already hit his 1,000+ 2 weeks ago. And I was like, oh, teach me, Chris, teach me. One of the things that we have a tendency to do, though, on 2DogsDigs is historically, we've only been doing a single live show every week. We do a show every Tuesday night called The Hall Pass, and that's our live show. And we hadn't been posting other videos. And I noticed that that's one of the things that you were much better at than me, is posting more videos, not necessarily, and editing and things like that, which I can't do. I still have to learn all that. And that frequency helped you also build in your subscriber base. So we're at, I think, 801 subscribers as of last night. So
there you go. So you're almost at the 1K now. So
almost there.
Yeah,
and now we're starting to build more and more tips and tricks videos. So I'm actually working on 3 right now that will be loading in the next few days. One is how to put videos into your eBay listings. One is how to get followers on Poshmark Canada for Canadian Poshmark people, because that's the other platform I forgot about, Posh. We have like 15, 20 things on that. Because on Posh, I keep getting all these followers that are from all over the world who can't shop on me. I don't care if you follow me if you're in the US. If you can't buy my stuff, go away. Like sharing it to your friend in California means nothing to me. Share it to someone in Vancouver. So the best way to do that is to have Canadian followers on Posh.
Yeah.
And also another, like, what's sold in the past week we'll be working on as well. So we're trying to build those. And yesterday's video that I put out, or Monday's video, was all about sending out offers on your phone and how to send an offer out on eBay. So we're trying to do more of that kind of stuff too to help.
No, that's great. That's definitely helpful, especially nowadays for people that are starting to do reselling as a business. With what's going on right now, I know a lot of people are wanting to start. I've been getting a lot of messages just randomly saying, hey, I want to start a business with reselling, and like, how do I do this? How do I do this? So like, definitely tip and like how-to videos are really helping nowadays, I'd say.
we're getting new subscribers as well to our Canadian resellers and fantastic thrifters group on Facebook who are literally like that. There are people who have never sold anything before, and you are trying to figure out another way to make some money. Because if like us, full-time I run an advertising agency, so I do advertise. Part-time has always been my reselling business. My husband, when he retired, was starting just now to ramp up on making this, like taking this even further. So he's got no income coming in. My income has now been pushed down from my normal full-time job. So we are trying to ramp up more and learn more and try new things and try and figure out some of those new things. So that's the one nice thing is on the Canadian resellers group, you have lots of people who sell on different platforms, and we are a 100% positive group. And Chris, you're in it, so you know that we don't allow trash talking. We do not allow politics in the group. It's a positive space to try and find the best ways that you can move forward, because there's some groups out there and they're all about trashing eBay or trashing sellers or all the scammers. And you know what? I think I said this last week on your reseller roundup. There's one person who'll scream about something being bad, and that's what everybody hears.
Yes.
Nobody hears about the millions of great transactions that happen on places like eBay.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see in our group, especially, people aren't allowed to say scammers or that's a focus on the bad. It's focus on the good. We've been 25 years in this. We just hit 5,500 feedback on our eBay store, and only about 10 to 20% of the people give us feedback. So we've sold 30 to 40,000 items and sent them out. We've probably had 5 really bad experiences over 20 years. I'm not going to let somebody else tell me that eBay is full of scammers when I know they're not, and I'm selling great stuff on there, and people are buying my stuff.
Yeah. Tim actually mentioned he had a question like, what do you sell on Etsy specifically?
Etsy, we focus on 2 things. Vintage, it's all into the vintage side of things. We don't do anything with crafts. So it's home and collectibles and fabric. So one of the things that we found trying to sell a little bit more on there is when we go on for vintage fabric. It's actually interesting because we found some people telling us that they're doing better with fabric now on eBay. So we never listed any fabric on eBay. We just thought fabric, that should go to Etsy so people can make stuff.
Yeah.
So we're actually
just like bulk fabric. Like, is that?
Yeah. So you'd go to an estate sale or two, and actually you can see this you can find this actually at Value Villages as well, and any of the thrift stores in that section just past where all the bedding is.
Yes.
There's usually like a rack, and it'll just say material.
Yeah.
So we'll find things in that material stuff and sell that material. So it could be like Halloween bats. Yesterday we sold a thing of blue jays. It was old, like that we found at a Value Village. It was for the Toronto Blue Jays. It was a piece of material that was like 4 feet long by about 3 feet high, and we sold it for $30 to somebody in Nova Scotia.
Wow.
So, and that was on Etsy. So it's that kind of combination of stuff, and we're trying now to cross post more, because when you have things, that's the other thing to think about. If you've never done Etsy, but you have stuff on eBay, you have the pictures, you have everything that you want to know, you can drop it over there. Plus, they're different audiences, completely different audiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just sold 2 Viewmaster reels on Etsy for $28.88 US with shipping of $4, so like $32, $34 US. That we had listed for $20 with free shipping US on eBay.
Wow.
So we made 50% more money. And if that person had looked on eBay and Etsy, they would have seen the exact same photos and the exact same listings, and they decided to buy from Etsy. Why? Because they're Etsy shoppers. Etsy shoppers aren't necessarily eBay shoppers who aren't Amazon shoppers. So that's the other reason you want to think about cross-platforming.
Yes.
Because not everybody surfs 20 different websites to find the best price. Right?
Yeah, great point. Yeah, no, Tim specializes in a lot of like glassware and everything. So
that does really well. We've got a couple of sellers who do really, really well on Etsy with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
As long as you can pack it. I hate packing glassware. I make my husband do it. And the first time he did it, he sent 4 teacups off, and all 4 of them had their handles arrived broken off.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's unfortunate.
It was a good lesson for him.
Yeah.
But we lost like $50.
Oh wow.
Well, no, we lost $2.
Yeah,
That's
technically.
all it cost us.
Yeah.
But I still told him he owed me $50. So he had to pay for dinner that night.
So Tim mentioned he subscribed today. So
thanks so much, Tim. I'm going to go back and look at the comments to subscribe to a bunch of you guys too, because I see a bunch of names in here that I haven't seen before. Some I just recently subscribed to over the like a couple of weeks ago. I think last week I subscribed to Fat Girl Sewing, and I think I saw Nurse Flipper on here that I subscribed to.
Yeah.
So there's a few of you guys that got a Nashville Flippers. Yeah, I think I subscribed.
And it is new here, so thank you for stopping by from Montreal. Good to see you.
We have a few Montrealers in our group on Craft, on the Canadian resellers group too. That's the nice thing, is we have people from across Canada too. So you can empathize with people who are in your neighborhood. If you're out in the East Coast, you go, oh, gee, how do I deal with things in the East Coast? There's like 25 people who are near you who also have to figure out how to ship from Halifax or Newfoundland.
Exactly. Matt had to go. So thank you, Matt, for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Look, Zahir is here. Good to see you, Zahir. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. From the UK, and fellow Fortnite enthusiast. He has a great YouTube / Twitch channel that I enjoy watching all the time. So
I don't know what Fortnite is. Twitch is the guy who is Ellen's DJ.
That's true.
I'm old. Well, my husband says I act like a teenage girl. I'm pretty old.
Yeah. Wendy said, I buy fabric off eBay all the time. I use it to make grime guards that sell on Etsy. Ooh.
Oh.
Grime guards.
I don't know what a grime guard is either.
I'm curious to know.
Is that something you wear while you're twitching doing the Fortnite?
Yeah.
I know what Fortnite is. I haven't played it. I don't know how to do those kind of things. I'm terrible with video games. I get trapped after 5 minutes into the first thing. I tried Lara Croft. She fell into a pit, and then for like 3 days, I couldn't get out of the pit. That was the very first thing. She entered the pyramid, fell in a pit. 3 days of me screaming at the pit. I played Lego Batman on my Wii. I couldn't get into a cage where there was something I needed to do. My husband was screaming all the cheat codes at me. I still couldn't figure out how to do it. So basically, I ended up throwing that game out. So no, I don't do video games.
Yeah. Have you been
a board game boy?
Do you sell a lot of video games or no?
I don't. I wish I had been picking them up though. My God, when you look at how many people are selling like flipping through stuff like that right now. Oh, I wish I picked so many of those things up that I passed over, but I don't know enough about them. So it's one of those areas, kind of like CDs, kind of like DVDs. If you don't know enough, you could end up spending, especially at thrift stores. Maybe not so much at garage sales, but at thrift stores. Like when I'm seeing $3 and $4 and $5.99 stuff, and I do a little research, I'm like, these things don't sell. And then somebody tells me, oh no, it's only the NCAA 2008 football that sells for like $80. All the rest are $2. And I'm like, yeah, I probably would have bought like 50 of them for $5 and not been able to sell them.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've passed over at least 5 or 6 Wiis, like probably 4 months ago, and now they're going for crazy money.
Yeah. Oh, I still have my Wii here. I gotta go get that. I got a Wii Fit that it didn't make me fit. I didn't fit on it, so if somebody wants to exercise on it now. Huh?
I sold a couple of them, the Wii Fits.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called?
Grime guards are for needlework. Oh, okay.
Needlework wraps around your hoop or Q snaps so you don't get oils or dirt from your. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't realize that they had that. That's something you can do to.
Neither did I. Now I need to see that rainbow with the star, like on NBC, and now you know.
We have. Oh, Tommy's here. Good to see you, Tommy. Always good to see you. Let's see. Okay, so I guess one thing I was curious to know too about, like, because I know a lot of things that you sell to is vintage stuff. So like, What type of vintage things do you like? Is it generally everything that you go after?
It literally is everything under the sun.
Yeah.
I'm really fast. I'm fast with trying to figure out what it is. I think if anything, I'd say I focus more on the sort of pop culture toys kind of area, which is something, again, that as a former G.I. Joe Barbie doll dealer, it just sort of, I lean that way. So I can easily scan a baggy wall at a Value Village, and within a second I can find which bags of Hot Wheels have a red line in them, which Barbies are actually new versus old, and where the good bags of Lego are and not. So maybe 50% plus of what my stuff is sort of in that bigger toy area and collectibles and movies and TV. The other 50% is completely random. It's like walking through the shelves or walking through estate sales and seeing stuff. One of my little sayings that I use all the time is like, if it's less than a latte, it's got to be bought, eh? That's my Canadian version of. I know, isn't that terrible? Yeah, I'm like, but tip your waiter. I'll be here all week. No, I'm like, it's just, well, I see people all the time. Yeah, I see people all the time, and on some of these Facebook groups, they're like, oh, I saw this, and it's like a 98 cents. Do I buy it? I can't figure out if I could buy it. It's like, it's 98 cents, and you spent more time typing it's 98 cents than you could have looked it up. Or it's like, so if it's less than a latte, and these are the people who probably have a $4 latte in their hand while they're taking a picture of a 99-cent item. So we buy stuff and hopefully find stuff that's flippable in a really good place. I'm trying to think, like, I was we did a show last night. We kind of focused on paper or ephemera, and that's not the Wicked Witch of the West. That's Elphaba. Ephemera is paper collectibles, and we'll go and buy stuff that's at a garage sale. And sometimes people will just throw stuff out there or in an estate sale, and it's just a bunch of paper, and you can pick up a batch of stuff for like $5, and you sort through that. And I don't know what's in that paper, but like this was in that paper that I bought in somebody's thing, and it was a bunch of Expo 67 stickers.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Well, it was also with a bunch of this other Expo 67 stuff. So I showed this on the show last night. One of our friends on the show was buying that for $10. That's more than I paid for the entire lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I found this sticker listed on eBay for $17 for one sticker.
That's crazy.
So I just put these 3 stickers up on eBay, and I'm putting them all up for 1967 because that's the year of Expo. And I'm going to try and beat the other person. And am I undercutting the other person? Hell yes. Did the other person sell theirs? Hell no. If I can sell mine for 1967, damn, I'm ready to make a 1967 on something that might have cost me a penny.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know anything about the McDonnell Douglas Aircraft Corporation. I just thought this was cool. I bought this for like $2 at somebody's flea, like, garage sale, and I just saw McDonnell Douglas Aircraft. Oh, that might be good. It's a bunch of old posters from 1960s.
Yeah.
So same with China, things like that. It's like I stay away from generic glass if I can't look it up, but things that have other logos on them, if it's like beer steins, things like that. And again, that's where it all comes down to looking up solds on your phone and having your phone with you wherever you can. You can't do that at garage sales,
yeah.
Clothing, this is what we have to do next. And unfortunately, for 2 years, we've been picking up clothing wherever we thought it was something funky. And we sold clothing here and there, but we haven't listed enough of it. But we flipped a lot of things. The things that we flipped have been jeans that we bought for $2 at a garage sale and sold them for $40. I just sold the equivalent of a members only jacket that I bought for $7.99 at Value Village. I just sold for $48 US, and that was listed for less than a week. So it was stuff that I thought looked cool. So that's kind of what I do, as I look for stuff that go, that looks interesting, that looks interesting. And then once a year, we have a garage sale. And all the stuff that we have that I've looked through and have decided isn't worth anything, it gets thrown into boxes, and we have a garage sale normally, and like everything on the garage sale is $2 each.
Oh, okay.
And we have dealers who wait in the morning for our garage sale.
Because they know.
Oh yeah, our average garage sale pulls in over $1,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's like, it's stuff that we bought over the course of the year, and we didn't look too close at it. It's like, oh, okay, I can get rid of it here for $1 or $2 or things like that. We don't put stuff in our garage sale for a nickel.
Yeah.
I want to buy it for a nickel from somebody, but I'm not selling anything for a nickel.
Mm-hmm.
I say I say this is not for charity. Well, it is for charity, but that's my drag name. So
Now welcome to charity.
I did say that for like at my garage sale last year.
Oh gosh. Okay. So let's. I saw Uncle B here come into the chat. Thank you for stopping by, and Cody's here as well. Good to see you. And Susie, good. Always good to
I
see
love
you.
some of the names of these, like the people's channels or their names that they've got in it to flip it. I love things like that. I
Yeah.
like things like Uniquely Me. That's a great name. And
Yeah.
I love Here's Lynn. It's just like it's another great name.
So I wanted to, guys, again, if you haven't subscribed to Craig and Rick from 2DogsDigs, don't forget to subscribe to them still if you haven't. So they're almost at 1K, so hopefully we can get them there soon.
My birthday's in 2 weeks.
There you go. So hopefully we can get them there before the old birthday.
Shameless plug.
So wow, we're already 50 minutes into it, but this has been awesome. So before we go, I wanted to just follow a couple throw out a couple rapid fire questions to you. So we can go this out. But it's going to be about a little bit of flipping, reselling, and a bit about general stuff. So
okay.
All right, so let's throw this at you. So listening to music while reselling, yes or no?
Yes.
What band do you listen to?
Toto. Yes, Toto.
Okay.
And REO Speedwagon. I'm old school.
There you go.
70s stuff.
Hey, I love all decades. I'm a big fan of like 60s, 70s, 80s. So
I love Sirius XM radio, Sirius 70s radio. I listen to that all the time. That's what I grew up on.
Okay. That's awesome though. Are you a night owl or early bird?
Night owl.
Yes.
Big time night owl.
Oh my. Yeah, I mean, hey, everyone.
Toto was my first concert. It was my first concert ever. Okay, my first concert was the Village People.
Yeah, I love Africa. Africa was a great song.
I don't think you can consider the Village People a concert, really, because it was the Village People. But it's true. I saw them at the Maple Leaf Gardens opening with Gloria Gaynor opening, and she sang "I Will Survive" 8 times, and then it was the Village People. My first concert was Toto at Massey Hall. I'm weird. If you haven't realized that by now, I'm just freaking weird and happy all the time. People used to think I was on drugs all through school. I was like, no, I don't need them. If I had them, I don't know what the hell would happen to me. I'm just this way all the time.
But hey, like honestly, everyone has their own favorite. Like that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, Africa is a really cool song.
I love that song. Yeah.
So's Rosanna.
Favorite part of reselling?
Sourcing.
Yeah.
Sourcing, selling, listing.
Okay, so that was going to be my second question. Least favorite part. So
listing.
I'm listing. Okay.
Even learning is better than listing. I like learning stuff more than I like listing some of the stuff. The research.
3 things you should have when you start reselling.
3 things you should have when you start: a scale, a good postal scale, some boxes or envelopes for the things you are planning to sell, because it's surprising how many people don't prep for that. And most of all, the third thing you need, patience, because not everything is going to sell the minute you post it up. Absolutely. So you can't think, how come I haven't sold anything in 2 months and I've got 20 things up? Well, have you looked at the price? I get really happy when I sell something. We sold something last night in 20 minutes after I listed it. But I've also got something that the monkey mask that we sold today has been listed for over a year. Yeah. I still bought it for $1 and made $38 US on it. So patience. Yeah. Patience, boxes, and weigh scales.
There you go. That's a great patience is definitely one of them. Okay, so I asked this to everyone. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
What? No.
Yes.
Okay.
Not grilled pineapple. That's a no. Grilled pineapple is no. But fresh pineapple?
Yeah.
Yes. That's the only pizza I actually eat is Hawaiian pizza.
Oh, really? Okay. It's just not my cup of tea.
Another long story. Never had pizza till I was 17 years old because my mother told me I couldn't. It's true.
I don't know. I just find it a travesty when I see pineapple on pizza. I mean, that's just me, obviously.
Oh no, it's true. There's people I know who would not like. Yeah, when I'm in a business meeting and they say, "Well, we're ordering pizza. Who wants that?" I go pineapple. Half of the meeting goes, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And the other half of the meeting are going, "Yay, pineapple! Someone like me."
Oh man, there's a lot of mixed reactions here in the chat on pineapple. But hey, I mean, everyone has their own taste, guys. I guess probably
I'm weird, Zahir. That's why I told you I'm weird. That's why pineapple pizza is weird. Yeah, I'm weird.
So I think this is probably an easier one for me to know, but it's choosing selling clothes or selling toys.
Selling toys.
Yeah.
I'd like to. Honestly, there's some folks I know who kill selling clothes. Like they just do amazingly. There's somebody in our Canadian resellers group that a year and a half ago, they were in London, Ontario, and they were probably selling a couple of $100 worth of clothes a month.
Mm-hmm.
By 6 months into it, and this is all on eBay, they were up to enough to quit their full-time job. And recently they were close to $10,000 a month in clothing sales on eBay.
Wow.
Sourced from Value Villages and Goodwills.
Really?
And they were doing $10,000 a month in sales. So wow. I would love to be able to do a lot better with that. And there's a number of people I know who kill on clothing. I think I just need to get it started. Like that's the big scary sort of thing. And it's just like when someone's scared about starting on eBay or starting on Etsy, starting to something that you're really not familiar with. And I'm afraid of like measuring things wrong or like that sort of thing. Cause I know I'm a 3X and I can buy a 3X and it can be like, I can look like a sausage crammed into something cause it's so tight, but it can also be like a giant tent on me. Yeah. So measurements are always something that scares me, but I got to do it. I got bins down in my basement of stuff I bought, but I got to get into the clothes. But toys, yes, I love toys.
Okay. Yeah, no, me too. I love selling toys. It's always fun, even like testing stuff out too. That's another fun thing I like doing.
And Dapper Tiger says that he made a comment about Toto and then pineapple pizza. I think I just lost a subscriber.
Yeah, I apologize. I think Tracy unsubbed twice. I don't know how that's possible.
If you could, yeah, sub twice.
So,
pineapple pizza. I don't have a pineapple in my office. I probably usually should. I'm gonna have to get one.
Advice you would give to yourself when you first started? Well, like as a what would you say to yourself when, like, if you were, since you're
if I was just starting out brand new to myself like 25 years ago, yeah. I would say, I think the thing I probably end up saying to myself is, don't be afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
Because it took us literally, I looked on my Etsy store. I opened my Etsy store like 5 years ago. I listed 3 things. I did not list another thing on Etsy for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And now I've sold, I didn't do a lot, but last year we had over $1,000 in sales on Etsy for listing very little. So don't be afraid to try a new platform. Don't be afraid to try clothes. Don't be afraid to try pineapple on your pizza.
No, I can't.
It's the closest thing I have to a pineapple.
There you go.
It's Tony's hat, so.
It's right on. That's awesome. I guess I think that's a good follow-up though, but like, what's one thing you want to learn more about, like in terms of items that you want to start selling?
Yeah, it is I think clothing is big. I think the entire circular society that we're working in right now. And I think part of it, the challenge as well, is what we're living through with COVID is making a lot of new buyers come on too, because we've actually sold a lot of things in the past couple of weeks to people who have 0, 1, or 2 feedbacks. So don't be afraid of those either, because they're just somebody who's never been there before. You see people go, I don't know if I should sell to someone with 1 feedback or 0 feedback. It's like, they just found eBay.
Yeah.
Be happy. You could be their first sale and they could end up buying tons of stuff from you. But yeah, that's probably where it would be, is like trying that sort of thing to learn a lot more of for listing. If I answer that correctly.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. A great answer. I mean, I've been wanting to get more back into clothes, but I mean, I'm just finding the success that I'm having is with hard goods for now. Yeah. So I'm just trying to focus on that.
I think the challenge is, though, again, if you have a niche that you're in, that's like the guy who does all the clothing sales is up to like the 10,000 a month. That's all he sells is t-shirts and jeans. Like, I know people who do just books. So it's taking that step out. But again, with the whole circular society, more people are shopping online. Younger folks are in a lot more of the, I'm wearing this once and I don't want to wear it again. There's a lot of folks who are collectors, like shoes, running shoes and things like that. And if you got kicks and you got to make some room for some more Yeezy kicks, you might want to get rid of an old pair of Jordans. So things like that are where people are going to places like eBay for. 80% of eBay sales are brand new goods. 20% of eBay sales are like recycled goods. It's used goods. It's people like us who started eBay out. Mm-hmm. Etsy has like vintage being for them, vintage is the year 2000 now. Like, my God, you're 20 years old and you're vintage now, according to Etsy.
Yeah.
You're vintage, Chris. Did you know that? You're vintage.
I had no idea.
They don't have a category for me on Etsy. Like, old farts who like Toto.
I've noticed that too, actually, Susie. A lot of the buyers that I've been getting now have been 0 feedback, but I guess it's just new buyers that are trying to take a look at eBay as a place to buy stuff nowadays. But yeah, it's been fairly good for me though. At like, I mean, are you getting a lot of 0 feedback guys or people trying to buy?
Yeah, I saw a story that someone had actually talked about where it was in a news feed, and it was someone who went into their attic and they found their grandfather's trains. They're locked in their house, so they brought the trains down and then realized they didn't have a transformer that made one of them work.
Oh, okay.
They ordered it online, so they would probably never even think about going there. And now they've actually said that they've started buying more train stuff, so they're experiencing a new world that because of shutting themselves in or self-isolation.
Yeah.
Once you've done a bunch of puzzles, if you can't get to a place that sells puzzles, you're going to look for a place to sell puzzles. Well, you could go to Amazon, you can go to eBay. So you're going to have new buyers on both those platforms who are going to be trying to find puzzles.
I honestly think if there was a time to advertise eBay right now, I think now is the best time, just because of what's available to shop at and knowing that there's delays everywhere. I think eBay is such a important thing to have, knowing that you can potentially get it a lot quicker if you buy it through eBay.
Yeah, they are doing a lot of advertising right now, but it's all online and social. They're not expanding into the sort of TV world or out of home, which no one drives by anyway. I was on a conference call last week, actually, or 2 weeks ago, with Jordan Sweetnam and Harry Temkin from eBay. And that's one of the things that we were talking about with them and a couple of other sellers was, what is it that eBay is doing to promote themselves? So you might see them a lot more in your Facebook feeds, or you'll see them on Flipboard, or it's a lot of social and online ads that they're pushing to try and click people through to get those buys.
I think that's a lot better of a route to go, because I mean that's where we're generally on anyway. So I mean it's better that they're advertising there.
Yeah, so, and to flip it, just said Mercari's advertising like crazy. I haven't seen one eBay ad. Yeah, Mercari isn't available in Canada yet for us.
Yeah, I wish it was, because it looks like they're getting a lot better.
I know, I've heard a lot of really good things about them too. But yeah, but they've also got to advertise. Remember, even Posh has been advertising in February and things like that. Those are platforms that they may be advertising a lot, but they have like 2% of the amount of traffic that a site like eBay has. So they need to put out what's considered, because advertising is my mainstay. That's what I do for a living. Their marketing of themselves as a brand, they need that out there. And you need to do TV to do that, really. That's the number one way for you to be doing that. So that's what they're doing, is trying to get their name known by people. eBay doesn't have to do that as much because they do have a large audience. They have 180 million people who are on them, but they can get more people. Like, I get feeds all the time after I've searched things on eBay. I'll see something pop up in my Facebook feed that's an item I searched, and it's now suggesting for me to buy it on eBay. And it's because I searched eBay solds to find out about this G.I. Joe thing.
Yeah.
So they're doing well with driving it. And again, a lot of people are, every day that goes by, there's people who are running out of the things to do in their house. So 0 feedback, 1 feedback. Treat them well as a buyer, or their first buy. Maybe if you see they had 0 feedback, throw a thank you note in with your package saying, thanks so much. Great to be your first eBay buy. Right? Treat your customers the way you'd love to be treated. If I saw notes like that, when I see great feedback on my channel, I love it when I see things on eBay like that. I had one the other day from a woman who said, if I wasn't so old and sickly, I'd be jumping for joy. That was her positive feedback to me. And she bought cassette tapes. So I got a kick out of that. And then she sent me a message afterwards saying, if you ever find anything else like that, please let me know. I'd be interested in buying them. So I have somebody who I can sell some more stuff to.
Yeah, you have a repeat customer. That's beautiful.
Yeah, because she was happy and she would jump for joy if she wasn't so old.
It's just those extra things that you do to go above and beyond. That's awesome. Courtney came in, Bolo Buddies. Good to see you. Always good to see you here. And we have Crystal as well from Rosie's Closet. Good to see you. But yeah, I guess winding down, we're already over an hour over here. But guys, thank you.
I never shut up.
No, it's okay. I mean, we're learning at the same time too, right? So it's all good. But I guess
I don't shut. See, I'm still talking. Don't go ahead. Sorry, Chris.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, no, I had fun. Hopefully we can do this again in the future. And then you're always welcome to come along when we do the open forums at our Canadian Roundtable as well. And but yeah, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet to Craig and Rick from 2DogsDigs, the link is in the description. But if someone can put a link as well in the chat, that would be awesome. But do you guys, Craig, do you have anything?
This is me. This is me, the big round bald dog. That's my husband. He's got a little bit of fur. This is Tammy Faye Baker. No, this is Tammy Faye Baker. This is Divine. Do I have anything else? No, thanks so much for joining us today. Chris, thank you so much for having me on. It's great that you've joined us on Craft now as well. And I see you joining us on our Tuesday night hall passes, our live shows, where we try and focus on one thing every week that we try and talk about, as well as tips and tricks. And if you haven't joined the Canadian Resellers and Fantastic Thrifters group, or Craft, please come on in there. As I said, we're a really friendly, positive group trying to figure out ways to help everybody who are resellers manage their way through this in a positive fashion. There's too much negative going on right now. If you go onto Facebook, it's like you can dive in and be in a depressive hell.
Yes,
I'd rather be having fun with Chris right now for this hour than sitting there watching a news channel or fighting people who are posting about various political sides or how everything's going. No one trusts this person. What's that? It's compared. You know what? Nah, I don't need that. There's enough of that in this world. I got into reselling because I loved it. I love sourcing and I love selling. I hate listing, but I love sourcing and I love selling. If I have to do that middle thing, listing it in order to get to the selling, that's fine. Every time my phone cha-chings, I smile. Every time I send something off, I smile. Every time I look at money I'm transferring from PayPal into my account, I smile. And then this time I need that money. I need those cha-chings.
Yes.
Got to get me a new hair. Get my hair done. Get my nails did. And I can't afford it if I don't get no money.
Exactly.
So again, I'd rather have fun doing it. I'd rather be smiling. I'd rather think about everything positive that's going on in this world than to try and focus on the negative. So Craft is all about that. Our YouTube channel, 2DogsDigs, is all about that. I know Chris is all about that. So is Jody. So like there's a bunch of us who are in there. Bolo group is a great group as well. It's all fun things. And all of you guys, if I haven't subscribed to you, I'm going to go back through the chat and subscribe to you guys as well. Let's keep this reselling journey a fun, positive, great place for everybody to make money.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah,
and listen to Toto and order pineapple on your pizza.
Oh my God. What a way to end it.
And scene.
What a way. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much again for stopping by. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys on the next one. So take care, guys.
Well, I don't know. Why not?